I am a former New Yorker. I live in LA now, but my buddies were all from Labyrinth Theater. So I originally wrote this as a stage play.
Oh, okay.
It's originally kind of a reboot of a 16th century morality play.
Right.
And every man beset by fictional characters that sort of tell his story.
Okay, and did it ever play as a stage play?
The play didn't work out.
Right,
It
okay.
took years to make this because the studios didn't really like it either.
Really?
Yeah, no car crashes, no. It's not a vehicle. It's an ensemble piece. It's not a vehicle for a star.
It just seems like a really interesting character piece, though. Like if you, in a room, characters talking. As I say, I really like the dialogue in it. So at what point did you, when the play wasn't working out, think, right, well, I'll make it into a feature then?
The good news is I do larger films, and so I know a lot of actors. They read it, they loved it, and they basically did it for free.
Oh, wow. And is that how you got like Scotty Thompson, James Purefoy, all those people involved?
Yeah. Their agents hated this movie.
Oh, really? Oh, you're going to have to tell us a bit about that. Go on, were there any awkward emails? Or?
Well, one quick story. At one point, James Purefoy gets pretty good money these days.
I can imagine.
At one point, I was on the phone with 6 people from CAA arguing with me over why he should get $65,000 for his role in the movie. And of course, we only paid him $125. They were hostile.
It sounds like you were a great negotiator, though. If you're like, no, 125, all right.
They refused to let him do it. So I called James, and then James called them, and that's the way you had to deal with it.
And did James just love the script?
Yeah, he was actually going to be the protagonist, but his schedule wouldn't allow it.
Right. Okay.
We had a 10-day shoot.
Right.
For the studio stuff, and then location was another 2 or 3 days. But he ended up playing Lucifer, which was like his dream come true.
So was managing the schedules of the major talent you had involved on the picture one of the more difficult parts of the production, or?
The problem is the film is mostly character actors that I've worked with that are busy.
Right.
So like Peter Jacobson, who did House, and he was a lead on Colony, had to fly down 3 times from Canada, from Vancouver, to do the show. And the irony is he spent more, I think he said he spent like $3 or $4 grand to do the movie, and he only got paid like $400. So,
oh wow! At least you know your actors are committed, though, when they're like paying you to be in the film.
It was a bit of a bucket list because these are people that I've either worked with and I really love working with them, and it was a nice chance to give them an opportunity to shine. Or like Veronica Cartwright, who is somebody that I've always wanted to work with. It was a chance to work with her, people like that.
I mean, we've talked about this a little bit, but we mentioned, the studios didn't like it, so I imagine it was quite a tight budget. Yeah, and we talked about the salaries and...
Yeah, it was ridiculously small.
If you'd had an unlimited budget, are there any changes you would have made to the film?
I don't. It was so much fun doing this at the scale and the scope that we did.
Yeah.
No, I don't think I'd change it.
Oh, excellent. And are there any specific cinematic influences you've had that have helped shape the film?
Probably 12 Angry Men was an old favorite of mine, and so there's a little bit of that. It's the notion of being in a one space for 75% of the film, and really dealing with the interaction and building these characters and trying to develop them.
Excellent. And as a filmmaker, is it difficult doing like a locked room type thing? Because obviously you can't rely on other narrative tricks, to get the film going.
It's harder. I think the performances are more apparent. I mean, obviously, this was not like a Fincher level number of takes. We were doing, 1 to 2 takes. But look, when you have really, really good actors and you have a lot of conversation beforehand, you just let them do their thing.
Excellent. And Mark, I'm aware it's absolutely fucking freezing, so we'll finish up now. What advice would you offer to any independent filmmakers who haven't started making films yet? Oh,
God, it's whatever I say is going to be cliche. It'll be prep. I mean, this movie, I storyboarded the entire film, every frame, before we got there, and then, of course, I threw it all away.
Brilliant. Right. Thank you so much, Mark.
Thank you.
Just a bit of housekeeping before everyone goes.